Hello there, welcome to Conrad's Chords. Today I'm going to do a request for Naomi. Thanks Naomi for requesting this lovely song. Took me a while, but here it is. So it's These Days by Jackson Browne for the ukulele. I've chosen, he does a sort of rocky one on the album and he does a live one with Travis Pick, which is really nice, so I've chosen that one. I've put it into G because that suits the ukulele and it suits my voice, so hopefully it will suit some of your voices as well. And I'm going to show you the Travis pick. You might have come across it, you might not. It's great, it's a great pick to do. There's several versions, but it's the basic thing is that it's a syncopated rhythm over this alternating bass in the thumb. Lots of Bob Dylan songs, Don't Think Twice It's Alright, Girl from the North Country. So it's a good one to get into your system, and it sounds really cute on the ukulele. So for this version, I'm just going to use the first three strings. So the last one's from your nose, if you think of it like that. So we've got our lowest sounding note as the first one, and it goes up. You can do Travis pick with. I quite like it because it kind so with the string that we have on the ukulele that's unusual, where we have a higher string where the bass string would be on a guitar, it kind of subverts the Travis pick because it's supposed to go boing 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 boing, but it ends up going boing boing boing. Anyway, today will be a bit more traditional because I'm just going to use these as the bass strings. And I've had to change the version around. He does like a bass line that goes down, falling bass line, but we don't have too many bass notes on the ukulele, so it's within the chord up here, this falling bass line, so that comes through it. So first of all, I will show you the Travis pick. So let's have a look. Oh, and I will show you versions to do if you don't want to do the Travis pick or it's not quite ready yet to use on this song. So anyway, here is the Travis pick. We'll just have no fingers here, use a kind of A minor because we're going to use these three strings. So the main thing is the thumb. Sounds like it's. The thumb just goes alternating, it never stops, and that's what gives the whole rhythm to the thing, to the pick. And then in this version we've only got one extra note, so it's quite a good way to start really, because you can do other things, but this is the basic. So with that we've got beats 1, 2, 3, 4. First of all, your extra note, you could do it with that finger or that finger. I think I tend to do it with the middle finger. You've got that higher note on beat 1, then beat 2, thumb on its own, then straight after beat 2, you pluck the higher note again, then you have beat 3, and then you have a higher note again after that, and then the last beat. So these higher notes come on the first beat, then on 2.5, and then on 3.5. So let's get the bass going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then fit them in. Firstly on the note, and then between the notes after beat 2 and beat 3. So that's something, if it is new to you, you just have to practice a lot, and after a few days it'll start to sink into your muscle memory and you'll be able to do it without thinking about it. But don't be impatient because it's a new thing, but it's, as I say, it's well worth doing. So that's the Travis pick, and I'll show you different ways to strum or do a more simple pick later on. So let's have a look at the chords. So most of the chords of this are based around a G. This is this lovely intro bit, which is like under the singing as well in the verse. So we've got a G major 7, but we're not going to play it with this finger because we need to keep this finger here. So you kind of push it down, keep your second finger where it is on the G chord, and push your first finger down over those two, because then we need G6, so you need those fingers there. So you kind of have to get your fingers ready in position to, because if you're sort of like this you won't get there, so you need to sort of have your arm near so that you can do that pushing. But it works out after a bit of practice. So we have G, and it's sort of half a Travis pick each. G, G major 7, G6, and back to G. That's all over 2 Travis picks. And then we got 2 Travis picks of C major 7, which is just a G shape without that finger. So it's quite neat, really. And we do that twice. Then back to D. Now we've got did I say G, to back to G, and then we've got a D shape, although you don't need to do your full D shape, just these 2 notes, and keep this one because it's going to come in handy. Now he does a little sort of slide up to the 7th, which we can replicate here, sort of. So I do a hammer onto the 2nd fret at the same time as the next bass note in the Travis pick, so I really plucked that to compensate for my little hammer on. But the idea of a hammer on is that you make the note by pushing your finger firmly onto the fretboard, and you make the note by doing that instead of plucking on this side. So this was the most needing practice that I did. It's not that necessary. It's just if you can stick it in, you can stick it in. So we got hammer on to the 2nd fret, and then a slide. So you just pluck the note on the 2nd fret and slide it up to the 3rd fret, and that slide produces that note. And that's at the same time as the bass note as well. Here's the slide, and stay there on D7. So that's the most technically difficult thing on it. And then you've got a lovely C for 2, 3, 4. And then you go around the whole thing again. And now I think that's it. So if you're not quite ready to do the Travis pick on it, you do a very sort of ukulele-ish strum, light, heavy, light, heavy, light, heavy. Well, I've been out walking. It'll change it, it'll make it quite sweet. I don't do that much talking these days. These days. So how would it be for the D? You probably have to use a whole D. And climb up to that 7th with your finger, little finger. I'm trying to put the hammer on in. I know the things that times I had a chance to. Sorry. Okay, so that's the strumming version, and there's an easier pick version where you just take the outer. We're focusing again on these 3 strings. You take the outer ones, and then you play the middle one with the thumb. So it's actually a good practice for doing the Travis pick later. So it would be I don't do too much talking these days. These days. Let's see if we can get the slide in here. Oh, and then I can get the hammer on in too. I know all the times I had a chance to. It's because I'm missing out of a line. It's making me go very confused as usual. So you could do that. So I'm going to go through the song now in the Travis pick and put up the chord shapes as well for you. Right, I just had to stop something making a clattering noise. Okay, so here's the ukulele version of Jackson Browne's These Days. Well, I've been out walking. I don't do too much talking these days. These days. These days I seem to think a lot about the things that I forgot to do. And all the times I had the chance to. Intro again. And I had a lover. It's so hard to risk another these days. These days. Now if I seem to be afraid to live the life that I have made in song, it's just that I've been losing for so long. I'll keep on moving. Things are bound to be improving these days. These days. These days I sit on cornerstones and count the time from quarter tones to 10. Don't confront me with my failures. There we go. I have not forgotten them. Intro 3 times. And then the chord of G. Okay, so have fun with that one, and I shall see you soon. Bye.